as I mentioned earlier, I want to extend this all the way up close to the ceiling. So this is the Billy extender right here. It's just a shelf that you add on top to take this up closer to the ceiling. You know, that's going to sit right on top. It's going to fasten. It'll be secure to the building shelf. Then once I get this in place, I'll go ahead and I'll secure it to the wall by putting the brackets on top of this and then attaching it to the wall. The official name for this is the Billy Height Extension Unit. I'll just call it Billy Extender. The Ikea instructions are pretty straightforward, picture driven. So I thought I'd just give you the quick rundown of the assembly of the extenders. You have your cams that you put into the holes on the side. And then you make sure you put your dowels in the back. And then this is the top here. So what I do when I put the dowels in is I also throw a little bit of wood glue in there to really secure them together real well. So what I'm going to do first is take this back here and line up the dowels with the holes down here, and then the cam is going to go into the back. Now that I got them lined up, I like to use a rubber mallet. That way I'm not doing any damage to the shelving. A little bit of glue.
I have buttermilk in the freezer out there.
I got the glue on the other side. I'm going to go ahead and get this in place on the top here. Next up, you want to take these here. I don't know what they're called, but you're going to stick them over the cams heads that are exposed. And these holes. Once you've done that, you just tighten it down. It will pull the boards together and keep them nice and tight. So last step to put together the extender is just to put the screw here in the back. In order to connect the extender to the top of the shelf, you have to take the cams designated for installing to the top. There's a hole up here for them. So you're going to put that on each side. There's two of them. And once I put that extender up here, I'm not going to have enough room to put that bracket in place on top of the extender. So I need to do that while it's still on the ground. So I'm going to mark, you know, where it lines up with the edge. That way I know where to set it at on top of the extender. So as you can see, I got some pencil marks on there and I know where to set it at now. So as you can see, I got this secured now. I used the screw that comes with the kit. It's nice and sharp. You can just use a Phillips screwdriver and it'll cut right down into this particle board to get the bracket nice and secure. It also comes with a washer. Make sure you put that on there. That way all the weight or the stress isn't on the head here. It's spread out. So it helps hold the bracket on there better. Rookie mistake here is that when I mounted this and I lined those lines that I drew, I put it on the back here. Well, the extender has this thick back plate here where the regular shelf just has a very thin sheet of particle board in the back. So I lined it up incorrectly. That line should actually be right here. So when you're mounting the bracket, just make sure the lines that you mark are not lined up here, they're lined up right here. Okay, I have that corrected now. We'll see if it works when I install it on top again. So here are the brackets. This one is where the stud is, so I'll just be able to drive a screw into there. Right here, I gotta put an anchor. So I gotta just mark a hole here. That way I can take this back off and get that anchor installed. Okay, so I got my anchor here, and what I did is I found a drill bit that is slightly smaller than the anchor. You know, I don't really have this down to a science, but you just make sure that it's smaller. You want to make it nice, the hole nice and snug for the anchor. Go ahead and get that anchor in there. Put that in place, we can get the extender back up here and get the brackets secured. I'm gonna go ahead and lock the extender in place. And I'll go ahead and get the bracket with the anchor secured. I'm gonna go ahead and get the bracket secured that's up against the stud. Okay, got those on there and it's nice and secure. So I'm gonna do the same thing, build out the extenders and add those to the rest of the shelves.